Hello everybody and welcome back to Hoots and Pantai. So you join me, we're in September, 22 minutes past 9 in the morning. We've got a few jobs we need to do today. It's one of them days where we've got to put some wheat in the ground. But also we've got a few niggly little bits that we need to do. So we've got bales to get up, we've got a few things to sell. So let's start by jumping into here. Let's go back. Also, you might just see, if you look at the slight top left corner, there's some big blue rocket in the background. Yeah, I'll tell you more about that in just a bit. But we want to... Oh no, I was going to go for the trailer. We want to try and get this. Now, we need to see how we're going to get on with this, because FS22 and FS25 obviously are completely different the way they do things. But it's also different with some of the mods. So the autoload mod in 22, you could push a button, run round, and it would just grab all the bales. I don't believe that is the case. Now, there's a way we can press a button where you press Control, Shift, and R, and it does auto. Oh, so it does. So that's what it means. So there is, yeah, I wasn't sure how this was going to work, to be honest, because it was showing that you have to press a button to load it, but if you loaded it and the trailer was moving, it would flash up and say trailer has to, or the vehicle has to be stationary. So I was thinking, well, how's this going to work when we run around a field and pick up bales? But then I noticed on the key bindings, there's a little button at the bottom that says auto. I'm like, what could that mean, auto? And obviously I've just activated it, and yeah, that's exactly what it means. Oh my word, is that all we can get on here? Okay, not a problem. Well, at least we figured out then the whole auto load, and I mean, I suppose it makes sense, but it's quite nice that you've got the feature where you can either pick them up or auto pick them up by just driving past. So let's go and see if we can try and get this into here. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work. Oh, it strapped them on for me when I stopped, so that's good. I think if I try and do this... Yeah, I thought it might be on the wrong side, because I've said it in the last episode, because I'm using controller, the key bindings don't come up and tell me. Now, I can switch it on, so it will be keyboard and controller. It gets a little bit annoying when you suddenly go press a key and suddenly all the thing changes, so I've kind of turned that off a little bit, and I'm trying to remember the keys. Now, that was the little worry for me, is it's going to come up saying it's blocked because it detects the bars. So I'm kind of wondering... If we go back a little bit this way, it shows the triggers inside. Will it still pick it up outside? The answer to that is no. Okay. I'm wondering if we could try and drive in, but it was sort of, I don't know. It's just, I was hoping we'd be able to pick it up outside. Let's see, which way do we have the loading now? I don't know if the bales are going to be... Can we do that? Is it going to let me do that? Yeah, this might become a little bit of an issue. Keep saying it's blocked, which I can understand. Okay, we need to try and work this one out. Alright, well, it's not going too bad. Maybe it would have been better if I brought the truck and the flatbed trailer. That might have been better. I must admit, I thought we could have at least gone 3 high. I didn't realise that this was going to only be 2 high, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. At least I was a bit worried I wasn't going to be able to do the, properly do the auto load. I thought I'm going to have to stop by every single one to load it and then move on to the next one. But I'm glad that it has got the auto feature. So one more. Now, if we stop, it does strap, and then you can see that the full weight does go onto the tractor, and it's 90,000 litres per trailer. Now, an easy way I have found, and it's probably the best way to do this, instead of trying to unload them, just drive into here like this, and then unstrap, and it just takes them all. That's probably the best way of doing it for now. So we are going to have a lot of silage. Now, the good thing with this auto load as well is if you are using this, it won't activate straight away, so you haven't got to worry. As soon as you unload, as you'll see, if I drive up to this, it doesn't do anything. you have to go and reactivate it again. And once you push the auto button, it will carry on. Once it straps them, it disables the auto load. That's quite cool, that is. We've got a serious amount of bales here and a serious amount of silage. It should tell me, I think the bale storage does tell me, but one over here, what our total amount is. I think it does. I'm not 100%, so we're going to have a few left over. There we go. Well, see if we can just drive this straight in. And then... so it did take him before that strapped him. Oh, come on now. Can we get it on the front? You really don't want to take that last one? You're being picky now. There we go. Does look good when you look in the bale storage. You just see a load of bales. It is a bit weird as well. I mean, we can get a normal bale trailer, a bale-like storage. But the only problem I've sort of found with them is it seems like, I don't know if there's an issue, but it seems like the bales just move. So if you go try and store them up normally, they move and they start falling over. It just seems to be a little thing with the game. I don't know if that's like normal or not. Do you not want to take these anymore? Don't tell me we're not, we can't be full. Is it maybe driving into the trigger? No? Can we try and unload? Or do you just not want to play ball with these ones? He just doesn't want these ones. Let's try out here. No, he just doesn't want to play ball. Oh, there we go. Now we should be okay. There we go. Seems like it was stuck. I think it was because the auto load, like I said, when it straps them, the auto load turns off. But because it hadn't got a full load, it hadn't strapped them, it was still holding on to them for auto load. So let's go and have a look in it. Look at that. So what have we got then? We've got 53 bales of silage. That's 477,000 litres of silage. That's not bad from just one go on here. Now, the grass says it's ready to harvest or cut, but it's not yet. It takes about 3 months to get to the top growth stage. We've already done 1 month because we did part fertilise the bales. Not fertilised, fermented. Then we came back and we fertilised. Then we slept again till now, so it needs to be 1 more month before we get a full grow on that one. If we were desperate, we can cut it now, but it's not worth it. Now, what we need to go and pick up as well, mushrooms. They're quite good to sell. So we need to go and grab these. Let's just see, can we get them? I don't know if we're going to be able to get them all on board. Maybe. Let's try this. Load. There we go. Now I should have. I think that's all of them. I don't think we're going to get any more going to spawn. Let's have a quick look. No, no more. Now we'll stack them up. Mushrooms aren't going to be that heavy. But yeah, we'll stack these up. But we could lay them to try and save a bit of weight. So we've got these. Our can factory has gone and made our rice boxes. So we need to go and collect some of them. These need to be sold now. The rice boxes as well need to be sold now. And we've got more wood that's going to be at the sawmill because we slept. So we need to go and have a look there. I have turned off prefab walls. So it's just the... I think it's plank beams. No, long planks. Or is it plank longs in this game? The beams. Everything the temple wants is what I've got going. But I've decided to stop the walls at the minute. Because we need a lot for that temple. So the more beams we can make, obviously the more money we're going to get from the temple. Because it's higher profit. So let's go over and have a look and see if we can pick up our rice boxes. We're going to... I think there's some kimchi as well. So we'll try and get everything. And then we'll put it all on here. We'll take it across to storage. And then once we get it to storage, we can filter it a little bit better. Pick out what's the best to sell. Oh. You see, that's why you kind of layer it a bit so it's not too top heavy. It's all on the front. Now, I was also looking at this field on the right. Katie, who owns that field, has just gone and put barley in. It's typical, isn't it? I did say there's a chance somebody could do that, one of these farmers. And Katie's going to put barley in that field there to the right. It's nearly 500,000, which is a little bit out of our price range at the minute. Since we've only got 97,000. Maybe something we can look at? We'll just have to see, won't we? So I'm hoping we should be able to come through here. You can obviously see the kimchi and the rice boxes are the kind of blue ones. Let's go and auto load or set this to auto load and see if it will pick everything up as we basically drive along. I don't think it's going to, because I think I've gone and annoyed it by... It's already like loaded and strapped. So let's see if we can actually go and unload these to the side. We'll try and auto load again. That's it. I think that's... Oh no, it is picking it up. Oh, maybe it will do it auto, but you have to actually wait. Okay, that's when it's pallets, it's acting differently. Man, there's going to be some weight on here. Let's go and try and get them on again. Oh, the end of the wall there. Can we try and get them? I think there's some steps there, isn't there? Yeah. Oh, we're really messing this up, aren't we? Come on. Just that last one. There you go. Thank you. Wow. That is a bit of a stash. So we've got 2,000 oyster mushrooms, 5,000 enoki, 8,000 rice boxes, and 11,000 kimchi. Now, this is a bit unstable for this trailer. I really should have done the low loader. That would have been a lot better. Now, the kimchi is not a good price. So we need to drop off the kimchi. But the rice boxes and the mushrooms, they're good at to sell anything, which is literally round the back of where we're going to store these. So we'll get this sorted and we'll go sell some of these. So this here is pretty much exactly the same as the bale one. It's just going to be for pallets, and it's just slightly, it's just round the other way. You should be able to do the same here. Pretty much all them are in. Wow. Let's just see if we can try and maybe redo these bit at the front. So let's unload them, stack them on at the front. There we go. That should be okay now. Beautiful. Yeah, there's a lot of kimchi in there. So we should be able to go park up here. We'll turn that off for now. If we go over to here, it should show me then canned peas. I don't think canned peas were a good price now. Enoki? Yeah, we need them. That was a bit loud, wasn't it? Oh, look at that. That's a bit fancy on the side. So we need them. We need the oyster. How many oyster mushrooms? 2 of them. And rice boxes. We need 8 of them. Can we get all that out of here? I think we can. So let's go by. Let's change this to see if we can get it to layer it now. Should be a little bit better. Might keep things a little bit more stable. That's a bit of an interesting way it like unloads them in there. On a bit of an angle like that. I can see more over the back. What's that over the back? So we had 8,000 rice boxes, 2,000. Yeah, that's right. That's everything. I think it must be. Oh yeah, of course. Them are canned peas, aren't they? The rest of it's kimchi. That's canned peas. That's what it is. Okay. So this is going to go to the salad, I think, which is literally round the corner. Look at all that wood. Yeah, I definitely think for picking things up heavy, and a lot of them, it's probably a lot better to get the low loader. So the wood would definitely be the low loader. Let's go and try and get this in here. Oh, they're having a bit of a move about. Come on. Well, there we go. I mean, that was a nice amount. I'm not exactly sure what, because it was all in bits. Maybe we could have dropped them off, actually. Maybe I should have been better to actually drop them off. But we're back up to 176,000. Not bad. So while I'm over this area then, I'm just going to pick all the wood and the concrete stuff up from here. And I'm just going to run it over to the temple. So I'll see you over at the temple. Oh, it's quite a heavy load this is. The old truck is struggling. Now, I think the only things that will stay here are going to be the blocks and the wood chips, I believe. I don't think the temple needs blocks. Let's see. 91,000. Yeah, so it's just the blocks and the chips. Now, I was just going to move these. I thought about reloading these back up at the front. But they're not too bad, actually. They're over the triple axles on the trailers, so it'll be a little bit less weight on the front. Now, is there any way we can actually sell these blocks at a good price? Chips, I don't think we want to do anything with just yet. They're better in Jan. What about the blocks? So as it turns out, that the bricks are actually the best on the train, which, again, a lot of things seem to be good on the train. But then you take into the fact of renting the train cost. I just think the best one to do is the warehouse. Sell anything that's a bit lower. We'll drop the bricks off at the warehouse. And then also looking down here, I didn't realise, right at the very bottom, wood chips. Wood chips are actually good at the sell everything, which is next to our sawmill. Now. It is on its way down, but look at that, 60,000 we can get now. 1,647 over 1,622 at its best time. So let's go. The chips won't go at the warehouse, so that's good. So we'll just go drop these bricks off at the warehouse, which is on our way back. Take these few little chips here over at the sell anything when we park up the truck. And then we'll pick up the tractor, go back to the yard and swap the trailer for the flatbed for the actual trailer. Grab the chips, come back, sell them. Then I think we can start planting. How's that sound? So the bricks are dropped off at the warehouse then for 9,135. Not bad. Let's have a go at dropping these off in here. Not bad at all. Let's park this up, swap back to the tractor, and go get a trailer full. I'm hoping we can get them all in. Maybe not, actually. We'll have a look. So we're just filling up with wood chips. I've managed to find out that this trailer, you can actually get an extension. I did wonder if you could. And it's 37,500 it holds with the extension, which is pretty good. So we managed to get all our wood chips in there. It's quite heavy now. I will just cut through this way because I just want to quickly show you something that I did. So let's just go and have a quick... We'll park up there. Brakes are a little bit rubbish on that. I put this in. £350 for an old shelf. I thought it looked good. There was a new metal shelf, or this. The metal shelf was 2,500. This is 350. I just thought it looked better. And it's a way that I can just organise my things. So there is some silage additive, but it will only show so many. You can hold 35 pallets. But I just got some seed. There's the bale wrap, and obviously some fertiliser. I also found out with the bale wrap as well, it was working right. That 32 out of 32 is rolls. So it holds 32 rolls. Now that is excess. So yes, it did load it in, and it loaded in what it could do, and then any excess pallet, that's what that is. So that's why we've got, what we've got in there? 23 litres. It did say how many rolls was on it when it was on the trailer, but I thought because I got the trailer on, go pick them up, put them back here. Remember I got them shells. It was in quite handy. But also I've managed to sort that out as well around here. Just the back of here I've managed to put a couple as well, just to keep the rice saplings tidy. Because we don't get too many rice saplings. It's somewhere nice to organise them. So yeah, I just thought we'll quickly show that while we're coming back here for the wood chips. And while we're back here, we can have a look at this thing, this big blue rocket thing. Look at this. So this does everything in the sense of I can dry my grass to hay. We can also turn grass to silage with this, but I'm not going to because I'd rather do the bales like that. It's so much better. But it just looks better. Yes, we could do the hay that way as well. By cutting it, tedding it. It's just, there's a lot of steps involved in that. And it takes quite a lot of time for me. And I'm just a bit worried about trying to put these videos out for the 2 videos at the weekend and 2 in the week. While working, it could be a bit of a push. At the minute, I'm off work, so it allows me a bit more time. But yeah, it could be a bit of a push that. So I'm trying to cut the ways down. So being able to cut it and then get a forage wagon to pick up the grass. Put it in this thing to get hay. But also this thing is going to make the TMR for us. So the hay's got to go in here anyway. We'll just make the bales of silage and the bales of straw. Now, obviously we saw how we were making the bales. We just towed the bale around. And then we just had to wrap them. That wasn't a problem. They have to ferment anyway. So yeah, that's the plan. This thing, like I said, it does pig food as well. Not that I think we're going to be getting pigs, but great for cows. And it turns my grass to hay. Pretty cool. Very expensive though. 125,000. I was shocked at the price, but hey, looks good. So let's go sell this. It's going to be a nice little bit of money to add to us. Are we going to get over 300,000? I'm not sure. Let's just start selling and see how we get on. Oh, it's looking good. Nearly 50,000 on wood chips. That's not bad at all. That is pretty good. So 323,000 in the bank account at the minute. Yeah, that's nice. So am I just going to blow in a chunk of money of about 400,000 on this brand spanking new case? Twin turbo, 680 brake horsepower. Well, actually, it might be the other way around. Nope, 886 horsepower. What an absolute beast. Now, it's only because the other one's a bit slow. It's old. It doesn't have many horses. I just thought we need another vehicle because, well, this could be going and say, we could use the old one to go and do some shunting about. But then this one could have been hooked up to the planter, seeder, and it could have been in the field doing some work already. One tractor is not enough. We need more than one. So I have had to take out a £100,000 loan to be able to afford this. But listen to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Listen to them turbos spooling, baby. And then it's got some seriously bright, flashy lights. I will zoom in and show you. I'll turn it off because it is quite loud. As I always say, if you are sensitive to light and flashing lights, then please do look away. I will let you know when you can look back. For anybody else who wants to have a look at this and is okay with flashing lights, look at this. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. So we've got lights on top, spinny lights. We've got them on the back. And then there's some around at the front of the grill. That is awesome. It's just cool to have. It's mainly for me to play about with off camera. Don't worry, I'm not going to be having them, and they're definitely not going to be on when we do a time lapse because that would just be berserk. It's enough as it is. Everybody else now, you're safe to look back. Lights are off. Let's head back over to the farm. Let's hook up to the planter, get some seeds out, and let's start putting some wheat in our new field. So we are now set up to get some wheat in the ground. I have just had to go and edit this tractor a little bit because, well, yeah, that sounds better. The turbo noise was so loud that I thought, you know what, I won't be able to use this for YouTube videos. It's seriously loud. But I've managed to go into the file and actually turn the turbo noise down. So fingers crossed, we're all okay now. So we've got wheat, we're set up, seeds are in. Let's go and finally tackle some of this. You see what I mean? I don't know if you could tell before and after. Turbo noise is a lot less. It was just inside as well. It was just so loud. So yeah, just pulled it back a little bit. Well, actually quite a bit. Now if I'd gone for the next stage twin turbo warp, strangely, this setting I've gone for is the loudest. If I'd gone for the next one up, which was another like 40,000, it's quieter. Figure that out. So yeah, it was just a lot easier to go in and edit the file. So let's see if we can get around this one now. I was looking at changing the tracks. I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to have to change this because I can't use this. It's just so loud. But luckily, we managed to sort it out. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that, but yeah. I thought it was going to be quite difficultly like coded in software that I've not got to edit it, but no, luckily just changed the file simply in the normal XML file. So this is going to take a little while, but we're going to get wheat in here. And what I'm thinking as well, what we could do with the wheat is we really want the straw off it to make TMR, but also what we can do with the wheat, we can get chickens. Should we get some chickens? And I think then obviously the wheat will be good chicken food. And I have seen a good place that I think we can put the chickens. Before we sort of, I mean, we can get the chickens, well, the chicken coop. But we're going to need some actual food before we can buy the chickens themselves. So we need to get this done. But I was thinking the field where the peas were, because that's just useless. It's wasted space now. We only had the pea harvest because the farmer who had the field before I bought it had put peas in the whole lot. And we destroyed a good chunk of that by putting in a rice paddy. But yeah, so I'm just thinking now it could be quite nice because we could, I don't know how many it would be, but we can obviously do a customized like coop. Oh yeah, that's great, isn't it? I love the no collision camera in the settings you can do. It's great because normal it like zooms in and out, and it's a little bit annoying. Like you hit something like that, and suddenly it zooms in and out and goes all over the place. The no collision camera is great. Sometimes it can give you a bit of a wacky view when like that. You back up and you just see train tracks. So let's push on, let's get some of this done. We'll do a little bit of a time lapse. And then we'll go across and have a look. And maybe we could even, oh, I don't know, I was going to say we could put the coop in, but maybe not with this bank balance. So we'll see if we can get this done. Then we could technically go sleep because there's nothing else to do. Then we might be able to get a bit more money from wood at the temple. Yeah, that could be quite good. I am still contemplating that field there. Is it worth doing both? Like, you know, doing both fields with wheat and just getting an absolute ton of wheat, keeping it in storage. Because we're not going to be able to afford cows yet. Oh, tough one. We'll have to think about that one.
touch me, babe. You send me right out into space.
And just like that, then everything is done. That's pretty good. I must admit, I do like this thing. Now, I am getting slightly confused with this in FS22 and obviously 25. In 25, this is just standard. And in FS22, we had this, but I think it was a modded version. And it allowed, basically it was a planter and seeder in one, which is why sometimes I get confused and call it a planter or a seeder. It used to do it all. It had the option as well to do fertilizing, so you could fertilize as well as seeding. And I know when I came to put the seed in, I was like, what's going on there? I thought we could put fertilizer in this. But yeah, getting confused with the modded one in FS22. But not to worry, it's still great because I do love like it's the 3-point hitch on the front. So it's just, you can turn it, it's just so sharp and it doesn't catch. Some of them, if you turn them too sharp, it will catch, and yeah, it's a bit annoying, but this one, it's beautiful. Do like it, even though it's only 8 meters, it is still great. And this tractor's so much better now the volume for the turbo noise has been turned down. The tractor is still a little bit louder than the normal one, which you'd expect it. It's 800 brake horsepower. But it was just the turbo whistling noise. I do like a turbo whistling, but that was just getting a bit too much, that was. And I didn't really know that I had to spend more money to make it quieter. Right, let's go on to here now, see if we can get this calculated. Yeah. Oh, no. Hang on a minute. That's going to be on the worker. We want that onto me. Lines. Yep. Okie dokie. So, let's just back up a little bit. That's it. We'll lock onto that line. We'll zoom out. And, yeah, we'll start fertilizing. I still got to get used to these buttons. I'm still trying to, like, multitask these buttons. Okay, let's turn on. There we go. Beautiful. I do believe. Is that right? Is that doing the full size? It just looks a little bit short of the lines. We just say 42 on the size, so I'm assuming that's right. Let's just have a quick little check and see if that has got it all. Do you know what? I wonder how many of you were kind of screaming in the comments to say, Craiger boy, it's already been fertilised. That's the whole point I picked this field, wasn't it? What a plonker. It's already been done, so at least we didn't waste too much. I thought it didn't look like it was sort of going on properly, but then of course it won't go on properly. Because it's already been done. That really was the whole point we did actually get that field, because it was fully fertilised and I just needed to come through and plant it, or seed it, or whatever you want to do with it. I've put my seed in the ground. We're all good now. So the grass has been fully fertilised. That field has been fully done. So actually that's not looking bad at all. Now we can just jump back inside of this. It is quite nice to have a powerful, quick tractor. This thing will go nearly 50 miles an hour. Yeah, it is quite nice now. Let's just zoom back in a little bit to that. So I think, let's go park this up here next to that one. Beautiful, look at that. Has this got the tyre thing on as well? Yeah, it has. Nice, okay. Now, yes, we could get rid of that one. I don't see the point. We might as well hold on to it because there's no need to get rid of it. It still works fine. It's just a little bit underpowered and a little bit old. Now, this is where I was thinking for chickens. It's just a useless bit of space that we can't really do much with, and it's not going to make much of a field. We could extend the grass field into here, but I just think chickens, that could be quite good. So let's go and have a look into the chickens. You know what? We might actually be able to do this. We've got nearly 20,000, just over 19,000 in the bank. I'm looking at this one here, which is this. Now, it does look a bit, you think, well, hang on, it looks a bit of a weird one. It says it will hold 500, but it's only, there's nothing fancy about it, and we all do the same thing. We don't really need anything fancy like a shed that's going to cost me 100,000. So here we've got a place to feed them. The eggs are going to come out the front. And we can customize this fence. And I'm thinking if we go round the whole like field area, to me that just sort of, that seems pretty good. So let's just get it level here. We'll come right up to the sort of edge here, about there. We think about there. We'll plonk it in. That's 2.5 or just under 2.5 grand. It will say, do you want to customize the fence? Yeah, I do. So now we can go from here. And if we go for the snapping, so we try and keep it a little bit level. Yes. I'm thinking if we go about there, put that in. Now the good thing is I realise as well, this isn't going to cost me anything. Because I've got the place fence anywhere mod, which is free. Maybe cheating a little bit that, but I don't think it wouldn't cost that much anyway. Now this should be quite a nice size for 500 chickens, but I've got a feeling when you do this customized fencing, it does change how many it can hold. Now this is a big bit of field, so maybe we'll get more than 500. I don't really know. I'm just thinking we might as well use this, haven't we? Because otherwise it just wastes space. Let's just put that all in there. Let's just try and see. Hasn't got to be anything too fancy. Let's just try and go up to about there. Maybe there. Try and like get it around the edge a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't got to be anything too fancy. And then we need to just try and line these up. I'm going to go about there. And then there. Do you want to plant meadow for the chicken pasture? Yeah, go on then. Oh, look at that. Oh, that looks good. You got to admit, come on, that's a lot better. That's so much better for that little area. We can now have chickens. We can get some eggs. More money. We've got a field of wheat we just planted. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. So, okay. What's this now then? So, let's have a look. Oh, is that 1,275? Seriously? No way. Surely that's... Is that right? 1,275. Oh, okay. I didn't realise it was going to go up that much. I just assumed... Wow, okay. My word, okay. That's not going to be the cheapest. So if we go on to the 6-month ones... Saying that, we might as well get them really young, aren't we? We're cheaper. Let's go on here and see how many. 250 grand and a half. Yeah, I think we could get maybe, what, 1,000 in? What would it be on that one, actually? Let's have a look and see. 30. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe if we get them in young. And then we could sort of get about half of them in. It'll allow for, you know, for breeding, for growing and that. Man, okay, so... Is that what happens then? Because I'm not really done much with these, like, what are they called? Like, dynamic pastures? Where obviously you can go and put a fence around the whole lot. I've not done much with them. But is that what happens? If that's how big it's going to get, over here, we were thinking of doing that with the cow pasture. But if that pasture said it was, for the chicken coop said it was 500, and I've gone and customized the fence, and it's now like 1,200 and something. God, look at the size of this. How many cows is this going to give us? The only problem there with that amount of cows, are we going to be able to keep up with feeding them? Because if we go around this whole field and it suddenly says, I don't know, 5,000 cows, for example, we're never going to be able to keep up with feeding 5,000 cows of TMR. Okay. Might need to have a little rethink on that one. So I'm just thinking, I'm having a look at the cow pasture, and this is a field across the road from us. Like, there's the grain mill, so it is literally just across the road from us, like, there. I'm just thinking, maybe a good idea to buy this one, because if it is going to work like that then, a bit like the chickens, this says 500. But if we go around it with a fence, we could end up with quite a lot. Now, we don't have to put all them in. But I'm just a bit worried that field over there is massive. And if it does go there, suddenly we end up with, oh, we can get 5,000 cows. We're going to be in trouble because we're not going to be able to house. Well, we can house them. We're not going to be able to feed them. Think of the amount of milk. 5,000 cows. Now we need to remember, we have to go for something like this with an actual, it has to be enclosed. That's the only one thing I do know. If you go for something like this, you won't be able to get the milk. So as it says here, this is a breeding barn, therefore milk production is not possible. So we need to go for something like this. And yeah, we can go for like this, which is 2,000 cows. But, like, is it actually going to be? Well, I think this one has, yeah, it does, it has a feeding robot. I don't like the feeding robot. You just always seem to struggle to keep up with actually feeding the cows. Because they only do a little amount per hour. It never seems to be enough. Now, we could go for this one without a feeding robot. But I think that could be enough. Because if it is right, when you put the fence around and it changes, that's what the chicken said, 500. We customized the fence. 1,274, was it? So, yeah, I think this one, but it's still 254,000. It's still a lot. I'm thinking somewhere like here, we'd obviously need to take out whatever's in the field here, because I can't quite tell if that's going to be level on. Because we haven't got the money, the money won't adjust to show me how much of a difference it is. I don't know if it's level. Like you see there, it's not level. Yeah. And the field itself isn't actually too bad. If we have a look, it's this one here. Look, that isn't too bad. 93. That's not bad, is it, really? And then we could use that for as a normal field. If need be, another grass field. Yeah. You know what? I think that's pretty good. And I think that's a good place to leave this one. Next time when we come back then, the grass should be ready to cut. It should be the full length we need. We'll turn it into hay. And we'll test out our new blue rocket. And see what that's like. We can't do anything with rice yet. I really want to try and put long grain rice in here. I'm assuming you still have to use the paddy to put long grain rice in. You can't put it in a normal field, can you? Can you? I'm not sure on that one. I might have to have a look at that one and see. But it would be nice to sort of get some long grain rice as well. Yeah. And then when the wheat, when's that going to be ready? Let's have a look when the wheat's ready. Yeah, we've got a little while for that then. July next year before that's ready. When can we put the rice in? Long grain rice can go in April. What about normal rice? Normal rice is April as well. Okay. So it's going to be July next year before we can get the chickens. By that point, we should have a lot more money anyway, because the sawmill keeps churning out wood for us. Yeah, but that's looking pretty good. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Do join me next time, as we're going to keep going on. We're going to get some hay from that grass field. And obviously we're going to see. I'm going to have a think about that field over there. Now, if we're not going to be using that one for cows, should we put something in the ground? Maybe wheat? We're not going to be moving on just yet. So we'll have a think. And we'll come up with a plan. If you do want to follow along with this one then please do give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments below. Consider subscribing if you are not subscribed. And join me for the next one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.